Today's topic, I'll make sure, is called Watching Life. Today we're going to talk about the benefits and downfalls of objectivity. The benefits and downfalls of objectivity. All right? So, what's happening in the dream state is that there's a river going on, and in that river is unconditional life force itself. There's a river going on, right? So it's all happening, right? And in the dream state, this is in the dream state. This is not, well, it's just in the dream state. Let me just say that. Or the illusion, whatever you want to call it. And then there's the side of the river, there's the shore, right? So there's the shore, or the banks of the lazy river. I forget that name, that song. So there's a bank, there's a shore, and then there's a river. Capiche? Right. So this is all happening. Happening, life happening. And then there's the shore. On the shore sits a character. And that character that sits on the shore while life is doing this, wish I had a bigger screen here. While life is doing this, the character that's sitting on the shore right here, that character is called you. This character over here, right, called you, called Kyrie, called Max, called Jane, called Joe, called whatever, sitting here. And life's going here. So there's an objectivity to life. Do you understand? So life is happening and you are over here, right? So as you look at life, let me say this really quickly because I didn't say it. I have to say it every single time I talk. There is no good, there is no bad, there's no right, there's no wrong. We just talk about the way things are, right? Right? So there's a character over here, life's happening, unconditional life is just going by. And so you are sitting here, let's just say you are sitting here, and you're watching it. And you're going, oh, I'd like that to happen. Oh, I'd like that to change. And that needs to be different. And that needs to be different. And that needs to change. And if I only changed over here on the on the bank, then I could jump in and then I could do it. And then if I got better over here, then I could be part of that. And many times, a lot of people will think everyone else, all the other characters in the dream, they're all in there. And I'm out here. They got it. They got it. So they're all doing their thing. And I'm over here in general. Or most people are in there and I'm here. Okay, take a deep breath. This is an analogy we're going to start with. This is an objectivity, right? So it's objective. So let me know in the chat right now if you can relate to this, what you think of this. Are you experiencing this right now? Thank you. Nina says, sort of, being on the sideline watching. Okay, so, all right, so being on the sideline watching is an objectivity. Now this watching life thing is prevalent in the dream state. Most people that you are going to meet on some level are living this way. It's not right, it's not wrong, it's just the way the illusion works, right? So, my question to you right now is, what is keeping the character on the sideline? What's keeping the character on the sideline? Now we're going to, I'll just keep going. I'm teaching very dualistically right now, but I will continue. So what's keeping the character on the sideline and not jumping in and not getting in there? Julie says fear for you. Fear of what? And she says, I'm learning more and more about the difference between me and the character that my ego attaches to and calls me. Good, Insky. Good. What is keeping, or if it's not you, what do you think? Why is everybody, I would say 90% of people are sitting over here on some level. Julie says success and failure. Let me tell you this, Julie. The fear of success and the fear of failure are the exact same thing. It's the same thing. So you don't even have to, you could just say fear, like you said. So there's a fear. And apprehension is another word of fear. Julie agrees, right? Apprehension is another word for fear. Apprehension is fear. You're scared. You're like, I don't, right? So fear can be a main reason why, for sure. My compass doesn't work. That's funny. But the character that sits objectively and watches everything. Now I'm going to completely change something in a second, but just follow me. In this model, the character that sits there and watches, that says, oh, what, I can't do that. I'm afraid of success. I'm afraid of failure. I'm scared of this. I'm not going to say obsessed. That's not the word. Is being guided by control. Being guided by control. So it wants to control what's happening in the unconditional flow. It wants to control what's happening. It wants to control what's happening on the shore, and it wants to control what's happening in the river. It wants to make sure that if I jump in the river, I get the result I want. If I jump in the river, or if I jump in the river, I know I'm going to fail. That's why success and failure are the same thing. I want to control the success, and I want to control that I won't fail. Mem show, same thing, right? So this objectivity keeps you from jumping into life, keeps you from not jumping into life. That's the analogy we're using, because you cannot not be in life. So here's the next part of the analogy. The analogy is that when you're still on the shore, you're in life. You're in life. You're in life. You cannot not be in life. Now, the operative word is you. The you thinks it's on the shore. The you thinks it's over here, or the you thinks it's jumping in. It's the same thing. But the egoic mind, the separated self, makes sure that you do not jump in that water, make sure that you stay on the shore, whatever. But staying on the shore is still a part of unconditional love and unconditional life, right? This reminds me, I was thinking about doing this week, and then I was reading a quote from Osho, and I pulled it out. I want to read it to you right now, if you don't know Osho. Insky says, fear is fear. Fear is one of my greatest illusions and lies I buy into. Keeps you small, controlled, and contained. That's right. Because fear is, you know the acronym for fear? It's great. I love the acronym for fear. False evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. Right? Let me read you this quote from Osho. Okay, good. People have decided not to live at the maximum. Never go to the optimum. Live at the minimum. At the minimum, you can avoid death. On the side of the... Got it? Because at the minimum, you are almost dead. The contrast is not there. This is important, when you are very, very alive, death comes very close by. The contrast becomes very clear. People are afraid of death. That's why they live at the minimum. You're not afraid... So what he's saying here is that if you jump into the river of unconditionality, you will die. And you will die. Your character will die. You will not be the same. You will not be you. You will not be you. Because you're so, the separated self is so guided by fear and control that it keeps you from going in there because it knows. Remember, the separated self or the ego is very sneaky, and it's actually very smart. It says if you jump in there, and here's the deal, you're already in there, is that you will die, because the ego will die. It will die. So why would it do something that would kill it? Why would you do something that would kill yourself? You only wouldn't do something that would kill you if you think you are real. You're not real. Your character is a character. Your character is a character. So the reason why this is happening right now, that you're not jumping into the unconditionality of life, is that the ego believes it will die. Take a deep breath. So it's afraid of success, it's afraid of failure, it's afraid of death. All fear comes back to the fear of dying. Now, let's point out something. Remember, today we're talking about objectivity. What I'm bringing up with all of you is something that you now can be objective about. Now you can be objective about it. The Course in Miracles would say you have to know the problem before it can be solved. So now you know the problem, right? And now I'll hit you with another one. The Course in Miracles also says, and this is true, this is the truth, this is a big truth I'm going to tell you right now, is that your problem is you think you have a problem, and that's your problem. Your problem is you think you are a character on the sideline, and that's your problem. Because there is no problem. Because without the ego, all is the flow. All is unconditionality. All is unconditional love. And when I say unconditional love, I don't mean rainbows and unicorns and butterflies, although rainbows and unicorns and butterflies can fly through there, and joy and peace and all that can fly through there. It's not. Unconditional love is not everything going the way you want it to go and being really hunky-dory and perfect all the time. Unconditional love is that no matter what's happening in the flow of the unconditional life, no matter what's happening in there, good, bad, indifferent, rage, debt, diet, anger, frustration, jealousy, joy, enlightenment, whatever's happening is accepted exactly the way it is. The ego stands on the side of the river and goes, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that, I want that. Oh, I want that. Oh, but it means if I want that, I have to jump in, I have to have all those other things. So I'm not going to do that. It's very selective, right? So it's selective. I don't want that. I want that. I want that. Oh, no. That is a form of separation, and the separation that would be under the umbrella of duality. Take a deep breath. Insky has something to say. I am not who you think I am. I am not who I think I am. I am not who you think I am. Coolly. Yes. That's right. Because you change the who to a what. And then you're onto something. Sue says this is a big conversation. This is it in a nutshell. And you put your feet in the water or you don't. That's right. And there's no you to get in the water. There's no you to get in the water. They're already in the water. There is no problem. The only problem there is, everybody, their only problem is your perception of what is. Cancer is not a problem. Losing your job is not a problem. Being a failure is not a problem. It is what it is. It's only a problem for the separated self. Let me read this again. People have decided not to live at the maximum, not to jump into the river, never to go to the optimum, never to get in the river. This is me commenting on this. Live at the minimum. At the minimum, you can avoid death. Because at the minimum, you are almost dead. The contrast is not there. When you are very, very alive, death comes very close by. The contrast becomes very clear. People are afraid of death. That's why they live at a minimum. And as they say, there's only two things in life you can guarantee you in the illusion, in this life: death and taxes. So the whole time that you're not in the river is because you're afraid of what's going to happen anyway. Way.